everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Gia. I'm a 25-year-old lady who lives in my mom's basement, and today I'm going to be discussing the 2 Christmas romances that I read during this holiday season. This is actually a re-recording because I originally had planned to do 12 holiday romances for the 12 days of Christmas, and then it turned into me reading as many Christmas romances as I could, and then it turned into I only read 2 because my grandma died. What more do you want from me? I promise I'll stop using that as an excuse after this. As a result, there may be some inclusion of the lost tapes from the first book that I read, which was more like a novella. But anyway, His Fake Holiday by Anne Lang was a mostly inoffensive plus-size romance about our girl Holly, who needed somewhere to stay for the holidays because she and her boyfriend broke up, and now she has no place to stay. So she is choosing to stay in her car instead of go home to her mom because they don't have the greatest relationship. And she wanders into a coffee shop and meets basically Santa Claus as an old lady, like, you know, when you're watching the Hallmark movies and there is an elderly character that is basically Santa, and you know, you look at the end of the movie after everything is right and you look back at them and they like wink at you and disappear into a flurry of snowflakes, like that energy. So she runs into this Santa old lady in a coffee shop, and this lady owns some luxury apartment. Santa lady offers Holly a place to stay for the holidays until she can get back on her feet. In return, she has to be the blind date of one of her tenants being the son of a publishing company CEO. So he has to go to this big holiday party that his family hosts every year, and he lied to his mom that he had a girlfriend because he's the eldest of all of his siblings and she has been on him to settle down and get married. So he lied to her and said that he had a girlfriend. So he has to find a fake date fast. And Santa Lady provides the girl, provides Holly. So you have Wes and Holly, and they are going to go on this like fake date thing, and Wes does not know that Holly is getting the apartment in return for being his fake date. He thinks that she either already lives there or is subleasing from the current tenant because the current tenant is like off in Europe on a research sabbatical or something. So he is unaware what she is getting in return for this fake date situationship. So already you're starting off with a bit of deception, but they hit it off really well. There's sparks flying, there's kind of lust at first sight. And when they're at this party, Holly finds out that in Wes's family, all of the men on his dad's side of the family basically fell in love at first sight and knew that they found the woman they were going to be with for the rest of their life upon first sight. So it becomes this kind of like joke slash meme that Wes doesn't think that this is going to happen to him, that he thinks that this is going to skip him, and it already happened to one of his brothers or one of his cousins. So he thinks that it has skipped him, or it's just not going to happen. But then he meets Holly and starts to question himself. So he starts to come on really strong with our girl Holly, and Holly is like, "Sir, we just met." Pretty much almost immediately, Holly and Wes start to feel this pull between the two of them, and with Wes coming on super strong and Holly unsure as to what she's feeling, it creates this situation where Holly now feels bad for lying to him because it's clear that Wes really, really likes her. So there is a bit of an emotional, like, tension to it. One fake date turns into multiple fake dates. It kind of snowballs into this situation where Holly admits to Wes that the reason that she went on this fake date with him in the first place is because she was offered a place to stay by Fitzy, which I thought was just, like, made up conflict. If you're told, like, you'll get this apartment for free if you are arranged to go on a date with somebody, like a blind date, I would take that, and I would not blame somebody for taking that either. And like anything that happens after the fact, I wouldn't consider that to be any fault of theirs. I think that Wes really overreacted. He got really defensive and he thought that Holly was after his money, which wasn't the case. So he was like, "Oh my god, like, did she tell you to fuck me too?" And Holly's like, "No, I kept seeing you because I wanted to." So I felt like it was just generated conflict that gets resolved almost immediately. Like, it took me maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to read this. So it wasn't something like, it didn't wax poetic on the breaking up part. And it was just like a fake relationship turned real relationship. The book is not horrible. And Holly being plus size and the mention of her being plus size is neither a positive nor a negative because they don't really talk about it, other than sometimes she notices her cleavage looks good. So I wasn't grossed out. Like, as a plus size woman myself, I wasn't finding myself grossed out by like her being fetishized or anything, but really she could have been substituted for a skinny woman and it would have made no difference. So I think that this could have been done better if you're going to use this as an angle in your romance, that you are highlighting the fact that your main character is plus size. They don't spend a lot of time talking about her being plus size, but there is many moments where Wes is like staring at her boobs, or there are comments made about her décolletage, if you will. And there were a few moments when they were intimate where he was like feeling certain parts of her and commenting, well, not commenting, but like in his head, like how much he adored like her body. It was more of an adoration than a fetishization, if you will. That's why I say it's like largely an inoffensive plus size romance, is that Holly is not fetishized for being plus size. She just happens to be plus size. Wes, on the other hand, though, is a typical like romance novel love interest where he has like washboard abs and he's hot as fuck. Like, he is like the normal love interest and she is just thick but still hot. She's like the socially acceptable version of a thick woman, a torrid model, if you will, if I was like 30% hotter. But at the end of the day, is his fake holiday a good Christmas romance? And how I felt about it is 3 out of 5 Christmas trees, because it was neither good nor great. Could have been done better, but I guess it was a nice little like Christmas party romance. It wasn't overly jolly nor holly. It was fine. But the true star of the show is Lovelight Farms, because oh my God, this made me feel so good. Like, you know, when you drink hot chocolate and it warms you all the way down to your toes. That is how Lovelight Farms made me feel. I rated this book 5 stars. I came across this book upon watching one of Chandler's videos, and I loved it so much. It is a best friends to lovers romance. It had so much to say emotionally. There was so much going on with the plot. I was very invested. So you have our main character, Stella, who has a little bit of abandonment issues. Her mother died about 10 years ago, and her dad is a low-functioning alcoholic lawyer, and she has a half-brother that she is only about 8 months younger or older than. I don't remember, so you do the math on that one. Her dad's wife means well, but she doesn't want to overstep because Stella had a mom, but she also wants to be a maternal figure to her, so their relationship is a little bit awkward. And then you have Stella's relationship with her best friend Luca. They've been best friends for 10 years, and Stella has been harboring a super crush on Luca for the past decade. Luca comes from an extremely affectionate Italian family, which, can I just say, the representation of my people was immaculate. It was impeccable. I had a shit-eating grin smile on my face reading any of the family scenes between Luca and his mom and his aunts and everything. So Luca's dad is not with us, but his mother and him are extremely close. He calls her all the time, and his mother has like 4 or 5 sisters, and they all immigrated from Italy several decades ago. So they all had their own distinct personality and voice, and I really, really liked all of the aunts. I think in the future I would love to see a sequel where they're like discussed more and they're like more present, but they were so good. I loved the fact that there was a found family element. Whereas you have Stella being so used to being alone, and then her relationship with her dad is not very good. So she, finds solace in Luca's family, but it doesn't want to because she's afraid to lose them at the same time. So she is like in this self-imposed isolation, which is really, really sad. Then you have the whole mystery of what's going on with the farm, and I was so invested as to what was going on with the farm. I didn't even know who did it and for what purpose. And in the end, I was just like, yeah, the whoever did it made sense and stuff. I think probably my favorite part about Lovelight Farms was the family of cats that they found in the Santa barn, because Stella thought that there was a family of raccoons that was causing trouble. Turns out it was a bunch of kittens. and the kittens kind of become adopted into the little group, mostly by Beckett. Who is a farmhand, he basically adopts all of the kittens, and they're all named after all Santa's reindeer and stuff. I thought that was so stinking cute. I think that element really, I thought it really added something to the story. I mean, I'm just a crazy cat lady, so I loved the inclusion of the cats. I loved the mystery. I love the feeling, the holly jolly, Christmas lights blinking all over the place. I give this 6,000 Christmas trees out of 5 because it was just so stinking cute. I loved how emotional Stella and Luca's relationship was, that she really propped up against him, that she used him for emotional support, but she was also afraid to lose him. I think that their exploration of their relationship was done well. But I think what this book taught me more than anything is that I love a good low stakes romance, a good best friends to lovers excellence. I love like mutual pining and angst and longing after somebody, but I loved low stakes, no lying, no deception, no rumors, no love triangles. Like, I do love a good, wow, maybe we do love each other. Okay, let's just be together. Like, I love a simple, happy ending. I don't always need an emotional gut punch and a slap in the face over, oh no, something bad is happening. Will they make it? Will they work it out? It's like, I don't always want that. So I really appreciate Lovelight Farms for giving me an easygoing, happy ending, and for giving me a joyous ride. There was mystery and emotional exploration, but there wasn't a lot of drama, if that makes sense. So I really, really, really enjoyed Love Light Farms, and I would like to continue the series. I believe the next book is called In the Weeds, and it follows Beckett and that Instagram journalist whose name I don't remember right now. Those are the 2 Christmas romances that I read this year. I thought that I would read more. I had hoped to read more, but unfortunately, given the circumstances, that was not in the cards for me. So I am glad that one of the books that I read was a new 5-star read for me that really tied up, the year in a nice little bow. It was holly, it was jolly, I felt warm inside and tingly all over. It was wonderful, it was a great time, and I am excited to continue the series. So that is all from me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you'd like to catch me anywhere else, you can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to drink water and be nice to each other and exude kindness and empathy with everything that you do. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.